Guardians. Welcome back to the civil side of things. I'm Mr. Sim, back with some Destiny 2 stuff to talk about, in particular some Gambit Prime. And have you ever noticed when you load inside Gambit Prime solo, things go terribly wrong? Well, half of that is due to not running as a four-man team, right? Running as a four-man fire team will obviously be much easier to win inside Gambit Prime, but how about when you're solo? When you're solo, there are things that you can do to make sure your team procures the win. First thing to know is what to have for your weapons. Gambit Prime has been through a lot of heavy weapon metas. However, depending on which heavy you choose depends on what your role will be. For instance, the Truth, right? The Truth has been really good at destroying enemy guardians and invaders. You could go that route for, easy kills or maybe even, 1000 voices, but I recommend Xenophage. I say that because unlike the Truth and 1000 voices, Xenophage is considered a heavy machine gun, hence can hold a lot more ammo, especially paired with mods like large arm reserves, which allows you to increase the amount of ammo you can carry from machine guns, rocket launchers, grenade launchers, and shotguns, which is important for shotguns a little later on. And the other mod, Heavy Ammo Finder, that increases the drop chance of heavy ammo on a kill. Xenophage is brilliant for this because you can get close to about 30 rounds, if not more, and it's perfect for invading and taking out invaders because essentially it takes 2 shots to drop a guardian, or maybe even 1, depending on their resilience. When I'm rocking this build for the Xenophage, I never run out of ammo, for it. Along with moving down, enemy guardians, it's excellent for, taking out major, like yellow bars, high value targets, and blockers. And, when it comes time to do DPS to the boss, the Primeval, it shreds them, bro. It's, now that 1k voices, you know what I'm saying, you might do more damage with the 1k voices, 1000 voices, but with the Xenophage it's much more versatile, which also brings me to my second point, the secondary weapon, the Python. When I use the Python, I use overflow, so I'm almost never reloading, and of course I rock 1-2 punch. Now remember that mod, large arms reserves. This mod will increase the ammo you can carry for both the Xenophage and the Python, right? So the reason why I say Python with 1-2 punch is because of the Warlock. This particular build with the Warlock really makes you feel like a Warlock. Now let me explain. So you, so you go and got your mods, right? You go and get your guns. Now go and get your Warlock. Okay, you got your Warlock? Okay. Now, put the Attunement of Grace, or the Middle Tree Solar subclass. As now you're running around with the Python, you'll have Guiding Flame, which, striking an enemy with your melee ability to inflict burn damage and empower yourself and nearby allies. So you run around, you shoot the Python, you get 1-2 punch with all the buffs, you melee, and then you melee, which then empowers you and your teammates around you, and all the while wearing Phoenix Protocol. Because kills inside Wall of Radiance and assists give you more super energy, plus protecting you and your teammates and buffing you and your team's damage with Guiding Flame and Wall of Radiance. And that's not all. You can even hold your grenade throw button, which mine is like L1 for the PlayStation, to convert your grenade into a blessing that heals you and your teammates and drops overshields that you and your teammates can pick up. Now, I know some of you are not Warlocks and most probably know about this build, but if you're not a Warlock and you're going to load inside Gambit Prime solo, then go get your Warlock. And for those of you who know about this build, why are you not on your Warlock? Because this is like the most efficient balance between offense and defense, right? Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that, make sure to have high recovery, as this will give you your rift back even quicker than, you put the other mod enhancement, enhanced bomber, which gives you even quicker cooldown of your grenade when you're using your subclass ability, which allows you to throw more guiding-like grenades. And it's always a good thing to have a high recovery stat. It also wouldn't hurt to have fastball, to throw your grenades even further if you needed to, right? Now that we got that out of the way, I'm going to, assume that you do not have a full set of Reckoning gear for the sake of this video, right? Now, let's go play Gambit Prime. I want to first start off saying that I noticed a lot of annoying things in Gambit Prime, like running down moats only to have your team, right, run right in front of you and just collect them before you can even get there. You know what I mean? And say to yourself, well, screw it. You can have all these damn moats, right? Well, there's something else I noticed that's not always a bad thing. Here's what I mean. Instead of all 4 of you collecting 6 moats, 5 moats, 9 moats, 14 moats, what you should do while playing solo is just hang back and just kill all the ads and let your team run around, collect all the moats, because doing this will result in sending bigger blockers and not 8 moats, deposited with a take and run instead of, playing cleanup, right? After your team has had their fill, and then what you do is you go, back to bank and all that stuff, they have you scurry over and pick up whatever moats that they left behind, right? And then you go deposit whatever you have from that, right? Another super annoying thing is when a teammate or even yourself has a decent amount of heavy ammo and see the heavy ammo box has spawned and go collect it only to receive 1 or 2 more bullets when you or your teammate could have collected it to be on par with the amount of heavy you or him has. So when you see the invader or it's DPS time, more than one of you will have heavy ammo. Or if one of you goes to invade and uses heavy ammo, it'll be okay because both of you had heavy ammo. Now, when it comes time of when the enemy calls up that primeval, there are 2 things you can do. Number 1, invade immediately. Number 2, you can wait. I think both are actually good, and here's why. If you invade right away and you take out enemy guardians, you will not heal the primeval, but you will buy your team some time to bank some moats and summon a primeval. Because if you get on, an army of 1 metal, that will give your team a good 30 seconds before the enemy is set and ready to take on the envoys and start doing damage to the primeval. And on the other hand, if you wait to see the primeval's health go down, not only will you heal it, but you will know exactly where they are, and they'll be able, they'll be there all bunched up, and then you'll be able to possibly kill them all and super heal that enemy's primeval. Because in order to do damage, you all have to be standing inside that pool of supercharged light. So you can efficiently go both ways, I think, And one last tip for you guys. When you are summoning a primeval or even, different damage phases, it's very important, very, very important, you only kill the first 2 sets of envoys, because if you notice, every time you kill the 3rd one, here comes the invader, which results in a wasted damage phase, and possibly your primeval will get healed to full health. But if you just kill the first 2 envoys and leave the 3rd, you'll see in about 10 seconds, you'll get an invader on the field, to which you and your team can focus on him and take him out and go move on to that last envoy, leaving you with a worry-free DPS phase because they just used their invade, right? So it'll take at least a couple of minutes for their portal to reopen, and when it does, just kill the first 2 sets of envoys and leave the 3rd until you get rid of that invader, unless your primeval is like a sliver of health, and then use your best judgment. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, guys, well, that's it for this one. I really hope it helped you guys out with maybe having some strategies about Gambit Prime when you're loading in solo. And, you know what I'm saying? If it did help you in any kind of way, drop a like. You know, and if you want to see any more of this Destiny 2 videos, feel free to subscribe, hit the bell to get notified. I have more coming up. Like this was the Warlock. I have something coming up with the Hunter. I have something coming up with the Titan. And if you want to see some more info about how to win some Gambit Primes loading in solo, hit subscribe to be notified, man. And if you ain't sinning, you ain't winning. Eyes up, Guardian. Peace.